Hello everybody. This is me, Gibbon, and this is my channel in which we talk about Paidalajin, which is ancient self-healing method, and male sexual health. This video is with Paidalajin basics in which is healing crisis, the thing that we go through when we start to practice a lot Paidalajin, especially in the beginning of our Paidalajin journey. During this video, I want to slap myself too. I'm gonna slap my calves today. I'm gonna slap here, but you won't be able to see that because I will do this under the table. But you will hear it for sure. So I want just to see how many time I'm gonna spend slapping. I enjoy to tracking my duration of Paida. Always do that. Almost never just slapping without checking the time. I mean how much time I've spent on this practice. So healing crisis. Healing crisis. I had this as a question in the comment section, and the healing crisis is part not only of Paidalajin. The healing crisis is the thing you've gone through after you start some holistic way of healing or self-healing. Healing crisis could happen if you treat yourself or if you go through some holistic healer. And why are these healing crises are happening and what are they? Healing crises pretty much look like a real disease, and it happens because we have in this theory it lays on this theory. So we have some disease in our body, but they are not on the surface. We cannot see them, and other people cannot see them, but they are in our body, sleeping and waiting for the right moment to kill our body or to make us really sick. You see, and when you start some form of holistic healing, in our case Paidalajin, very often you are doing something like a scanner. So you are scanning the body, and in places that you have this sleeping disease, or we can call them blockages, this thing unblocks, and by unblocking all the garbage that is accumulated, all the bad influence that it did on our body moves to the surface, so you can see it and you can experience it. Most of the time, healing crises are kind of one and the same in different people, but they could be very big variety, like in healing crisis, but most of them are like rubbing, inflammation, stiffness, itching, pain in somewhere in the body. It can be like swelling, it can be in a form of rush, it can be different types of sweating, it can appear in a form of nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, dry mouth, bloating stomach, the pain in stomach, It can appear in form of some kind of dizziness, drowsiness, tiredness, um, insomnia. You see, it can be in many different forms. Most of people experience that kind of thing. Um, in my experience, I've experienced a lot of pain. Uh, Pain in my upper back, super big pain in my shoulders. I experienced also tiredness, crazy tiredness in for maybe 2 months. Also experienced super strong liver pain, which is weird and very scary. Um, so, but the real thing is that after these symptoms get to the surface, they go to the surface to disappear. So, healing crisis is apart from a healing process. In Paidalajin, there are very rare cases that someone does not experience healing crisis. Some of the people really do not experience that much. For example, my wife is that kind of person. She almost never has healing crisis, but in my case, it's not like that. Even I still experience them from time to time, especially if I slap on some area that I didn't slap a lot. Healing crises are also test for you and how you look at the things. If you are scared of healing crisis, there is a very good chance you to quit your journey of Paidalajin, and it's a very good chance that you will in some point, like, you will quit, and it's like your belief it can be not that strong. But if you experience some kind of attraction to healing crisis, you want to see what will happen if you scan your body here and there, or scan all the body like we do with the carpet bombing. It's like you are the right person, especially for Paidalajin. Of course, not only for Paidalajin, but all the holistic ways of self-healing. Another very interesting healing crisis that I've experienced is this tremor. Like, hello, Michael. Is this tremor your muscle contracts like this? You can sense that. I experienced a lot. I experienced a lot of this, especially when I started stretching on the bench. My God, maybe 2 weeks. I I was like experience it all over my body, and the very interesting thing is that I experienced it in the blocked areas. Another topic of healing crisis is that it is also a way of learning about yourself. Because in your macrocosmos, you can skip and not pay enough attention to many things. You see, you can be unaware of a lot of your blockages, and when you start practicing Paidalajin, you can see a lot of Sha coming out of places that you didn't expect it. And Sha is actually a form of healing crisis. Because if your tissue is totally fine, when you slap, for example, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, there is no real reason to have these bruises. But if you have a blood stagnation, if your muscles are too weak, if your walls of the blood vessels are weak, if you have a lot of accumulated hard stuff like salts and heavy metals, you will have these sha appearing. And actually, sha is healing crisis that you can immediately see coming out of your body. It's very interesting, actually. You can slap in two symmetric places on your body. For example, you start to slap on your both hips, and you can see that one of the hips produce more sha than the other. That means that, you know, the tissues are one and the same muscles, same area of the body, but different, differently blocked, or one of them can be can be like unblocked, like the energy to is free, but in the other hip the energy could be blocked, and you have a lot of sha on one hip and zero sha on the other hip. I had this experience and I was shocked, actually, and I was like, wow, how is this possible? And I was totally unaware of how deep was this blockage in my right hip. I started to slap myself with one Paida hammer, so it was heavy, and I slapped on my right hip, and super huge amount of sha appeared. And I said, wow, maybe it's because of this hammer. Maybe this is not healthy for me, and this is not sha. I'm literally destroying my leg. And then switched to the other hip, and I was hitting and hitting. Nothing appeared. Hitting, continuing, nothing, nothing, nothing. And I realized, wow, so this was all very huge blockage, and I evacuated so much sha of my hip. I was totally unaware of it. I've always felt that my left leg is way more like comfortable to move, but that huge of a difference, never. So my internal organs knew this, but me, I wasn't. I didn't. So yeah, this is about healing crisis. So they are in very different. They can appear in very different forms. They can serve as self-diagnostics, as becoming more self-aware. Also, another thing is that sha is actually a form of healing crisis. And there is something else that I've skipped. It is like, if you start to practice a lot, you can experience one process that is part of evacuation of the toxins, like detoxification, which is also like sort of some kind of healing crisis. It's extremely extreme, like super intensive secretion from mouth. You see, you can regurgitate, you can have a lot of gases from digestive tract, you can have diarrhea, you can sweat more, you can produce more saliva, more tears. And this is also like, of course, discharge from the nose. This is a way of detoxification, and in the same time you can see it's I always search for this when I slap a lot. It's very common thing in my practice. When I start to unblock my nose, I feel it with my nose. Sometimes I have secretion from the nose a lot, and there is one acupressure practice that I do on my knees, and I'm applying acupressure on my knees sometimes. If I don't have time to practice a lot Paidalajin, to make sure that I'll fall asleep, I practice this on my knees. And if I don't have a timer to check how much time I am doing it, I'm just searching for this moment that some discharge starts to flow from my nose. So I know that this whole thing is cleaning the whole meridian, and went way up to the head. Another Paidalajin, like a promoter like me here in Bulgaria, he started way earlier than me. In one of his videos, he said that when you stretch on the bench, the moment that you have you have reached super crazy unblocking, that opens your meridians a lot, is when tears start to appear on your on your eyes, and he said that from stretching all over the body, when all the things like go even to the head, so the unblocking is very big. So yeah, this is about the healing crisis. One of my subscribers wanted me to talk about this thing. Whew. Okay, we had a huge talk. I have some things that I've write for myself to make sure that I'll cover all the different aspects of the healing crisis. If you have some questions, you can ask me. But oh yeah, there is one thing that I missed. So healing crises are also happening because if you have some blocked area, you have less energy. You can have disease in this area, but why this disease is not appearing in the outer world, it is because you don't have the energy to evacuate this disease, to make it happen, to like to get sick and to get healthy again. So this is because you don't have even the energy to go sick. This is very interesting actually, because many people, one of their healing crises is like they are catching cold, same symptoms as they had flu, or like they catch cold, because all this was in their lungs, all these microorganisms were they in their upper respiratory tract and the lungs, but they still doing their daily life and they have no symptoms, but this thing were in them, and after some paida they catch cold. You see, it's or legend. So this is because more energy flows to these areas, and the tissues have the energy, because this invisible energy is the resource that they need to make these secretions and detoxification and detoxify the organ. Michael Xenophon, I want to share my experience when I do a horizontal vagin. At the same time, I tap the liver and kidney channels with my palms. Horizontal, yeah. One of the teachers suggested to me that by doing this, we achieve a double result. We stretch and tap these channels. I mean you mean this Y-wagon, yes, in which you spread your legs to the wall and you are slapping on inside of your but you're talking about Y-wagon, yes? Because actually, oh yeah, he's talking about Y-wagon. Yeah, why not? Actually, why not? One of the things that you lose when you do this is the stretching in the heart channel and in the lung channel, because your hands are not up. But the unblocking of the liver meridian, spleen, and kidney meridians is way better. So why not? I personally don't do that, but I practice a lot of Paida, so I probably someday I can try to do it if I don't have enough time to do them separate. But if you have only 30 minutes to practice, why not performing it together? I like that. I combine Paida with squatting Wajin. I do the same. I squat and I use my slappers or my hands to slap my head. It's very comfortable. Another very good combination is in this standing Lajin on the board. You can slap everywhere. Actually, when I like stand on the board, I slap here, slap my arms. I can slap everywhere. So it's good to have this combination. It's nothing bad about that. And in the same time, in the workshops, I saw in many times that there are people on Lajin bench stretching, and in the same time, other two people are slapping their armpits to clear more the heart meridian. So combination of Paida and Lajin is not something stupid, totally the opposite. It's a real combination. But yeah, I prefer to do Lajin without flapping in the same time. But it's cool thing. It's good thing to do it, like to slap in the same time. In my opinion, it works very good. It's just I've never tried it. Yeah, guys, once again, you were amazing. Michael, thank you for the chat. I appreciate it so much, guys and girls, because we have female subscribers too. See you in our next video. Bye bye.